Hello folks, it's Lev. Welcome back to another video. For those of you who are new, I use he and pronouns. In case you're wondering why my microphone is clipped this way, it's because it's pointed more upwards, and when I clip it the other way, it just tumbles like this. So I'm trying it this way, see if the audio is different when it's directly pointed up to where the source of the sound is. Today we're back with another meme video, and today I'm going to be talking about and looking at mental health therapy memes. So like psychological therapy, counseling, you go talk to someone about difficulties, that type of therapy, like mental health therapy. And let's go right into the memes. I'm going to be putting the memes over here, and if I look down once again, it's because there's memes on this phone that I'm referring to. First meme. My therapist. How are you feeling? Me. Not good. Her. Tell me what's been going on. Me. Fuck. I should have lied. I can sort of relate to this meme. It's like sometimes when I go into therapy, so just a bit of context, I've accessed professional mental health support before. I've seen clinical psychologists, I've seen counselor, I've seen mental health social workers, I've been through therapy for different things, and in future continue to go see more specialists and therapists for different things. It's like sometimes it's just like I don't feel like talking, and I guess now it's a different story to back then. Now I don't feel like going to a session. I don't feel like talking about what's been going on and engaging in a session. I will cancel, and if I feel like it, reschedule. If I don't feel like, if I'm just like, yeah, this is going on, but I don't really feel like talking to a professional about it. Or this is not the right time for me to engage in a therapy session at this current point in time, that's okay. Cancel and reschedule, or cancel and then reach out again to the professional whenever I'm ready. Like, it's okay to postpone sessions if we're not in the right headspace, or we're just not up for it and we just don't want to engage at that point in time. That is completely okay. And it's also okay to re-engage at any point in time whenever we're ready again. That's okay too. But yeah, it can be sort of heavy sometimes. It's because with therapy, my experience, the therapist has to have context, has to have info to work with in order to help me. If like my therapist can't go off of nothing, like if they have nothing to work with, then they don't know how to help me. And I sort of say this from someone who's working in mental health too, not as a therapist yet, but just I do psychosocial recovery coaching, and I also need to know about my clients and what's going on and stuff in order to support them and have stuff to work with. Yeah, that's why the therapist tends to ask to elaborate what's been going on, because not good, say in this instance, not good can mean a million different things. Anything could be going on, that's why. But yes, I do encourage everyone out there, if you have like a session booked and you're not up to going, or you just don't like feel like it, or you're not in the right headspace to engage at that point in time, I do recommend, if possible, rescheduling, postponing, cancelling until you're ready again. Second meme. When I suggest seeing a medical professional or getting therapy to people seeking online mental health solutions, and they come back with, I tried therapy and it doesn't work for me, and then the character is like, did you know? I can sort of understand both sides of this. Sometimes it can feel frustrating, say, being a friend or family member or partner or whoever it is, like someone you care about, for example, and you would like there's stuff going on with the person, and you'd like them to go see someone because you're concerned and worried and you're unable to help them. It's out of your hands, and it's up to professionals because they're trained and qualified and experienced in supporting people with that kind of stuff. That does make sense to recommend seeing professional help. But it's also, I can also see the other side where the person, it is true that sometimes people do try therapy and it doesn't work for them. Few reasons I can think of: unsuitable therapist, or they had a really bad experience with that particular therapist or therapy style or approach, whatever it may be, bad experiences, which can happen. And in that case, it may deter the person from seeking seeking professional mental health again, which is completely understandable because of past negative experiences. Like, goes into therapy, not a good experience. Oh, so this is therapy. I don't want to do this again because it actually hurt me more than helped me, for example. That might be one reason. Negative experiences. Or the other thing is the client and the therapist might not be a good match. Like if the client doesn't vibe, I like saying the word vibe. Like, if I go to a therapist and I'm not vibing with them and I'm like, I don't feel fully comfortable with them, or there's just this disconnect and it's like, this isn't working for me, then I would swap to someone else. Like, that might be another reason why it doesn't work, because doesn't work between the rapport, the connection between the client and the therapist doesn't work, and that's completely okay too. The other reason might be the therapist is not experienced in that type of area or support that the client needs, and they're not trained or qualified to support the person in that capacity. Or the other thing I mentioned early on is the style of therapy might not suit the person or might not work well for what the client's looking for. There's like many reasons why therapy might not work for someone, that particular type. But I also do want to say there's a lot of different types of therapy out there. It's not just necessarily just talk therapy. Within talk therapy itself, like, there's different styles, like cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectical behavior therapy. But there's also stuff like art therapy, music therapy, a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different therapies out there, and it's not just one type. So it might just be about finding the type of therapy and the therapist that works for you. Alright, y'all, the third meme for this video. I have 6 in total. I have 6 in total. Next meme. Being a therapist is easy. All you do is just listen to people. Me. I absolutely agree with this meme. Like I mentioned earlier, I have been through therapy as someone seeking help, and now I work in mental health as well. Not doing therapy, but even working in the field of mental health requires a lot of active listening. It's not just listening to people. That is one part of it, being able to listen, but there's also how you listen. There's listening to respond and listening to understand are two very different things. And within listening and facilitating like a safe space for someone to disclose deep personal stuff and stuff that they might, like mental health stuff, trauma stuff, what's going on with life stuff, just stuff that the stigma surrounding, like talking about mental health, it's not just about listening to people. Otherwise, everyone would be a therapist. Everyone would be, if it was that easy, then everyone I talk to, I would feel safe around, because it's just listening. It's not. Why do so many people say I'm fine when people ask how are you going? Say I'm good, I'm fine, when they're really not. Stigma of mental health. And it's not as easy as just listening. For example, being able to empathize, being able to reflect back on to the person what they've said, being able to identify possibly implicit things from what they're saying, their tone, their body language, how they're saying this, things, also people's rate of speech. There's a lot of info that comes in not just from words itself. Words itself are of one part, but also a lot of implicit body language cues, and the way people talk says a lot about their state of mental health. And the other skills are being tact, like being tact in working with people, being mindful of differences in values, beliefs as well, and being able to navigate difficult conversations or conflicting ideas, beliefs, values, and being respectful of that. Another part of this, or working mental health, being a therapist in general, is being aware of our own emotional capacity, like the worker, or aware of own state of mental health, emotional capacity, also actually that being aware of our own state of mental health because of transference. Basically, if I'm not doing okay and I have a meeting with someone, I would likely project all of my own challenges, emotional distress, everything onto the client because I'm not okay myself. That's also part of working therapy, mental health wise, is being aware of self-awareness as well. So I don't like it when people say, or when I say it's easy, you just listen and talk to people. Next meme. Walking to my therapist's office. I came here to be uncomfortable and to fight. Yes, I definitely agree with this. It is a conflict. It's like, I'm not okay right now and I need support and help to overcome this thing, get to the next step. I can't do this by myself. It's confronting, it's very uncomfortable, but at the same time, not taking action would make me be stagnant in this state of uncomfortableness prolonged, like forever. Like if I don't do anything about it, I'm just gonna be stuck here for indefinitely unless something changes or some sort of miracle happens, which is unlikely. But yeah, so therefore the fighting part, I relate to the fighting part of this meme because back then it was anxiety, severe anxiety, social anxiety, severe major depression, a lot of suicidality and thoughts of hurting myself, and then with the gender therapy, it was a lot of overcoming internalized transphobia. The whole mental health recovery journey for me, and still fighting, just different ways. Not severe social anxiety, not severe major depression, but fighting things that haven't come up before as well, and also some occasional, actually anxiety still comes up, but it's not as severe as it was back then, but I'm not like completely, I'm not like 100% cured. I don't think that will ever happen. It's more learning how to manage my anxiety, which I have for the most part, but it still comes up. Where was I going with this? My whole journey, where was I going with this? Hold up. Yeah, the whole mental health recovery journey for me was a fight against demons in my own head, a fight against self-sabotage, fight against the vicious cycles that I was stuck in and lived my life within, like the vicious cycles of my anxiety, depression, and the way I thought about myself and the way I saw myself basically dictated how I lived my life back then. And it was just repeat. And my fight, I had to first shatter the cycle, like make a break in the cycle, and then start breaking the entire chain, and then start building my own cycle or routine, or I don't think that's the right word, my own way of living, a healthier way of living in the way that I want, not dictated by everything, anxiety, depression, and all the shit and all the trauma tells me to not living the life that my trauma tells me to live, and all the unhelpful thoughts that anxiety and depression and whatever else has come in that package, not letting that dictate how I live my life through the vicious cycle. Break them up, break into the cycle, then break the entire fucking chain of that was the entire fight. Second last meme, the audio from the thing I just filmed, which was the second last meme, went completely mute again, and the mic was being weird again, so I have to refilm this section, which is completely okay. I'm a little bit annoyed, but that's fine. Client, what should I do? Therapist, what do you think you should do? And the client's like, all right then, keep your secrets. So the thing with therapy is, in my experience, sometimes the therapist gives me suggestions of what I can do. Like, here are some options or some things that might be helpful for you. They don't, my experience and the therapist I've seen, they don't say, this will 100% work for you, guaranteed. It's more, here's some things you can try that may be helpful. Because guaranteeing that it will work for everyone is just, to me, would be a reassuring lie. Because everyone's so different, and strategies, approaches that might work for one person in their specific circumstance doesn't necessarily work for another person in the same or different circumstance. So depending on what it is, sometimes my therapist will give me suggestions of, here's some homework, here's some things that you can do that might be helpful. Other times, therapy has been about having a dialogue with my therapist, having a conversation. And through that conversation, I figure out things on my own. I realize things about myself that I might not realize before. I dig up a lot of repressed trauma and demons and all the stuff that's scary to confront. I dig all of it up in therapy, like digging it up. Literally, it's like metaphorically getting a shovel, digging it up from the depths of my mind, digging everything up, bringing it to the table. Here's what I have. And then from that, the therapist works with me based off what I've dug up, and I continue to dig up. He'll bring it to light. And because if I'm not aware of something, or if I don't bring something to light, then I can't exactly work with it if I don't know it's there, or if it's just been buried deep in my subconscious. Digging up, working with my therapist in a safe space. They give me professional guidance and whatnot for me to start healing in a way that's best for me. Yeah. A lot of collaboration with my therapist. And they support me, they have my back, but I do the work myself. Like, the therapist doesn't do the work for me, I do the work, like the healing work myself. They guide me, they give me support, but they don't do the work for me. The last meme, and in this meme, there's memes. There's a meme within a meme. Therapist, and how does that make you feel? I'm not very good at describing my emotions. Maybe you could just hold up a bunch of meme pictures until I see one that I would normally comment the word mood on. This ties into the meme before. Wait 1 second. Oh no, that was a different meme I saved. That's not in this video. Sometimes it can be hard to find the right words to explain how I feel, or how, like, you might find it hard to find the words to explain how you might feel. the words to explain and describe what's been going on, to give context to the therapist, and that's completely okay too. Memes can help. Like, I do encourage like everyone out there who's actually going to see a therapist, if you find it difficult to explain things in words or find the right words for something, I do encourage that, like, if you relate to memes or something resonates with you, like, save it on your phone, and in the session can show the therapist that, and they could use that as a prompt to start asking questions or get, like, dig in more or whatever it may be. Like, it can be a good starting point, or it can be a good indicator to your therapist about how you feel if you're not sure how to explain something in words. And there's a meme about emotions or feelings, being like, this is how I feel. It can be a very helpful tool. It can be very helpful. But I don't think from the therapist's end, it's very professional for them to just start looking up memes in the session and being like, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? I don't think the therapist would do that on their end because it's very unprofessional. But if you and me as the client, that's like completely okay. Just show memes where like, this is how I feel. I'm not sure how to explain things in words, but I found this meme I really relate to, and this is sort of one somewhat encompasses how I've been feeling or what's been going on. It can be a very helpful thing, and I definitely encourage it if it's helpful to you. That's all the mental health therapy memes I had for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, folks, and the meme videos I've been making so far. I really enjoy making meme videos because it's just like I get to look at it, reflect on my experiences a little bit, talk about it a bit more. And I guess I might do meme videos differently to other YouTubers because I like elaborating and sharing my experiences and sometimes giving a little education about things in response to memes. I find it really awkward if I just look at a meme being like, oh, cool, relatable, interesting, next meme, oh yeah, and just like react, and then that's my video. Like, I don't feel comfortable making videos like that. That's not me. And if I did that, that's forced, and that's not genuine to me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for your continued support of my content, my channel. If you have any particular meme video requests or any video requests in general or stuff you'd like me to talk about, feel free to let me know. But until then, take care, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.